These smelling salts are strong stuff.
Empty.
Why, you're looking a bit more chipper. Yes. Looks like that collar fits you. There you are. Not too tight, I hope. The collar. In the meantime, you'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters. Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those source spells?
Currents of magic surge.
My, look at the concentration on your face. There you have it. See? The collar's function. It for your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's. The good ship Merryweather. But
Index fingers pressed to her lips. She paused.
my word. You do? Oh, well, I'm sure you'll... A new life awaits. And if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well. An end to source. For...
Bloody murder.
A young magister stands pale and silent. Her knuckles whiten around her weapon as you pass.
No lesions, no trauma. It was bled by magic.
Behind the magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles.
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Waters is investigating. Aren't you enter? Go ahead.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalk and Finn didn't see it like... We'll find out who did this.
She looks up at you with a mirthless...
I was on duty in your room when You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course. I thought as much. Listen, I could use someone to bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. Our thanks. No marks, no indication of struggle.
Sing us a song, I know you can. A no doesn't become a yes every time.
It was one of them. I know it. Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate. They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them, right?
Here to register, sir. Good. You faring okay so far? I'm glad to hear it. You head on in now. Williams will get you sorted fast.
We just skipped to the part where I reassure you and you shut up.
Creep with those bolts trained on her. And
if she tries to...
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
It means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale, though, because...
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts Source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
What's happened?
The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious and bleeding from a dire-looking wound.
Damn. That doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards.
Thank the gods! What a fight!
He eyes the collar circling your neck.
Another sorcerer!
The Magister's companion doesn't blink, frozen in place at the sight of you. He leaps to attention, then whispers loud.
Don't just cower there, Rick!
Rix raises his sword.
Damn. That doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards.
He eyes
Another
the Magister's companion. He leaps to it.
Don't just cower there, Rix! Take out your...
Rix raises his sword, which shakes to...
Ah, Alexander. Just in case we forget who holds us captive. God damn it. Need to get off this wreck. Quick. This thing snaps into splinters.
Great God! Something's pounding on the hull!
The marking on the... You press your palm against the door. It doesn't budge. The door groans open. But...
chance.
Chuck the trap, kid. Children and dwarfs first, just like the old stories say.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes, to no avail.
You said there were other people down there. We need to help them.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
thank you! There's a ladder right over there.
You're gonna be the death of us. Had to open your big mouth, didn't you?
If you can walk. Wait! Voidwoken!
These beardless bugs won't sink the ship on my watch.
I thought Voidwoken was supposed to be scary. Let the games begin.
Glory is mine.
They who are about to triumph salute.
Prepare yourself.
No telling whether there might be more. Need to move. If not, Harry, this old tub is about to burst.
Away. The sea's coming. We don't have much time. We make a pretty good team.
I hear something. It's Magister Sirwan. The one who put on this...
She tries to speak, but can only gape as she clutches her neck, trying to stem the bleeding of a gushing wound. Bloody bubbles froth from her mouth. She... She's no more than a groan.
We need to wait. Lords, hey, there's no time.
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Oriven.
So the Order's right about one thing. We attract Voidwoken. Am I the lone survivor? Only one way to find out. This won't be of any use. Voidwoken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn. They made it to shore.
Worms take you. Glory is mine.
I thought these bloody collars were supposed to keep those things at bay. The face is familiar. What's left of it? He was aboard the ship.
you spot a strange lizard gazing over the water with a stick. Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only one who survived the tentacles of the deep. The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer, or a duelist. You lock eyes with his, two smouldering embers that sizzle.
I did survive, yes. And chances are I wouldn't have, had you not returned to the aid of your fellow passengers down in that dread. You have my gratitude.
Hand over heart, he salutes you with...
Yes, I'm sure you've all the makings of a hero and all that, but let's not get... Now then, if there's nothing further... I'm sure I don't mean to sound condescending, but I had thought it quite self-evident I was gazing out over the waves.
He sighs dramatically.
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean? Memories. Quite so.
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you. A few tranquil moments pass
As for myself, when I consider this vast expanse before us, I see an empire. I see continents dotted with mighty cities. And shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, I picture the palaces that formed my paradise. Lost. What do you mean, what do I mean? I mean just what I say. I had a very actual empire that I lost.
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply offended, he stares at you with utter incredulity.
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who I am? Oh, may the Seven have mercy on their own creation. I am the Red Prince, the All-Conqueror. Though, of course you know.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which his grandiloquent pose deflates ever so slightly.
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all-conquering and world-taming opportunities at the moment. The grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I shall have. Truly. A kind offer indeed. And you've already proven to be trustworthy enough. You came back for the others on that ship, after all. Fine. I accept. On one... For reasons I've reason to believe one of them may be present on this island. You do tend to beat around the bush. So, now that that's set, even if you are as a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself. But I'm well acquainted with the secrets of magic, and yes, even subterfuge. What say you? Very well. Onwards, then.
The Red Prince...
Now, as you're aware, you'll be traveling... As your luck would have it, I seem to be fresh. Of course, there are other forms of protocol to bear in mind, but... A black cat. A herald of wisdom in my homeland. How fortuitous. I've spotted something. One must put in due effort if one is to reap the proper reward.
where this leads.
You walk up to a skeleton unlike any you have ever seen before. His skull seems to be carved into intricate patterns with a gemstone sitting in the middle of his forehead. Approaching, you hear a profane rumble from the undead beast.
Bugger. How on earth am I supposed to... Oh.
Skeletal fingers reach down and grip the skin of the dead man's face, pulling sharply upwards. After a few more tugs at the man's cheeks, the skeleton relents, letting the head drop to the ground with a damp thud.
Damnation. That stuck fast. I wonder, does the beard act as some form of anchor? Ah! No! Stay back! Don't... Actually, you don't seem half as threatening as those creatures in red. Run along, won't you? I have business to attend to. Oh, yes. An exceptionally common, but exceptionally valuable commodity. A face. A face that seems rather stubbornly attached to his skull. I would normally employ a tool to delicately but viciously rip the face from the body. I could then craft a mask to hide my bone, but as I lack such a tool...
The skeleton grabs the corpse by the cheeks and pulls hard, grunting in frustration as the body's skin holds firm.
Because my own was stolen from me. And the idea of being chased across Rivellon by every idiot with a torch does not appeal. Oh, get away! Monster! Hide the children! Oh. You are simple beasts. And you simply do not like my... Well, not my kind, but those that look like me. So... if I am to traverse this land, I will need a mask to disguise my features. Oh, please. It is far too complicated. It requires more finesse than can be achieved by a rock tied to a stick, which I assume is your oeuvre. No, but once I have extracted the required material from this specimen, it will all be rather simple. And then I can return to finding my people. I cannot be the last Eternal. The rest of them are somewhat absent. At least from this realm. As for the others, well, there is an excavation site at the Black Pit's oil fields. Perhaps there I'll find my answers. Well, that hardly seems relevant. But if you must know, I was inconvenienced for a time. Several centuries, in fact. Or perhaps millennia. One tends to lose track. I was sealed in a tomb for daring to be curious about the world. It seems our king did not agree that the universe should be explored to its full potential. Perhaps I should thank him. It seems I was spared whatever happened to the others. I wonder if flowers would be appropriate. I suppose, circumstances being what they are, it could be advantageous. You seem more at ease in this world than I. A guide would certainly be useful. Excellent. While we are conversing, perhaps, of course, the arcane arts are my little speciality, but being a brilliant wizard does not mean I cannot handle blade or bow. So, which do you require for this enterprise of yours? I could do that with one. Splendid. Very well. Let's be off.
So, time to find this Boris fellow. Alexander.
We already...
But wait,
Magister.
he's too well protected
Now
here.
Speak. Stay back, sorcerer, and stay silent. Our Godwoken speaks.
We know you've been helping sorcerers escape, Atusa. We have proof.
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander. I know nothing of any escapees.
If you can tell the Godwoken no more, your tongue is of no use. Cut it out.
This can't be serious, Alexander.
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Bishop Alexander idly glances in your direction, curiosity on his face. Recognition seems to flicker in his eyes for a moment, but then he shakes his head and looks back towards Dallis. Atusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its root. Her eyes squeeze shut. Drops of blood form against the dagger's edge and quickly fall to the ground. She groans.
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you, Atusa. To think you would lie to his only son, your bishop, and your friend these many years. The fate of our realm hangs in the balance. If you will not help us save it, then you will help the Void destroy it, Alice.
Yes, Your Holiness?
I believe we're done.
What a waste. Come.
The Lizard Magister, or what's left of her, lies in a puddle of gore.
She was a lizard, yet a magister. No matter...
These creatures are so prone to violence. Naturally, the weaker specimens suffer.
Come on then, Lexi. Hey up.
I find any bread. I want no trouble.
An odd-looking young woman is staring intently at the statue to the divine, fingers curled rigidly at her sides. Greyish-black veins run from her eyes down her cheeks.
You keep his name out of your mouth.
Have your cud.
Her head snaps to you mechanically, and her eyes lock with yours, dark pupils dilated into great black. Light suddenly flashes back into her face. The grey veins drain to pinkish flesh, and her whole body relaxes.
Hey there, tall, dark, and glowery. What's your name? I'm Losa. Pleased to meet you. Ah, it's nothing really. It's just... I'm just a bit... well, a bit... hospitable? Put it like this. You've never been a host, I bet. That's because you're an infested clump of leaves on the side of the road. That ain't bad, though. I'd give just about anything to be like you. But I'm a roadside inn. Red door, flowers out front, friendly lady at the door beckoning you in for half price. Like a goddamn gold star inn for the disembodied. Now, isn't that just the question of the hour? I can't be sure just yet. I'll be surprised if it's a demon. Definitely not a sprite either. Maybe a spectre, but I wouldn't bet money on it. So, how are you enjoying the joy? Yeah? I was just thinking the same sort of thing. So, you want to check this place out together? Strength in numbers and all that. It does, right? Before we head out, I've got more than a few tricks up my sleeve. So lately I've been into the enchanting arts, but I can shoot, slash, summon, steal, whatever your little black heart desires. So, what'll it be? sounds fine. So, we're good to go? Yeah? Well, that was easier than I thought. And I'll do my best to...
Come on then, Lexi. Hey up.
This is not your business, Long Pig.
Don't let this moss muncher talk to you like that. Especially a cheapskate. Pay up, elf. No one shorts griff. Especially not one of you. You two ought to be thanking your lucky gods it's us, and not the Magisters enforcing round here. Now come on, elf. If you make me say it again, there's gonna be trouble. We got a system.
Follow me, before more of them trouble us. There is a safe place.
Where's the oil?
As you approach the blacksmith, you feel a bony hand on your arm. Fane leans in and whispers in your ear.
If it would be acceptable, I have an inquiry for this human. It is of a person. And if it would not be acceptable, well, that would render this entire conversation rather awkward.
Fane approaches the blacksmith and quietly speaks to her. You can't overhear much, but he seems to be gesturing towards her head an awful lot. Fane's words are quiet, but you hear the blacksmith repeat, "Face ripper," in shock. She slowly starts to back away.
What is it with creeps like you and Master Niles? I told him to slither back to his dungeon, and you can get too, freak!
Fane backs away, scratching his head. It seems that didn't go as he'd expected. He is lost in thought, though. She must have said something he found interesting. Amidst a crowd of screws,
And what you after? Get bent. I ain't. Just seeing how it's made.
She looks up.
You looking to buy something? Found it in the scrap heap not so long ago. We never knew her to be much of a wrench head back in the day, but once she joined the Order, she started turning out all manner of oddities.
She nods once.
You looking to buy something? Or do you just want to waste my time with a whole lot of questions? For you? Hell no. Worthy is exactly the right word. You know, someone who's proven himself might earn all manner of things.
The guard glances around furtively, then...
Thought you must have died when that ship went down. Guess wolves can swim. Ha! Well, your sense of humour must have drowned. Think you're a big man in here, Mr. Silverclaw? Oh, here's how things are gonna go down. You'll kill a slum elf called Sahila for me. In return, I'll tell you exactly what...
He waves a little scrap of paper in front of your eyes, before patting it back into his breast pocket.
Deal? Far as I understood, lone wolves don't ask questions. So why don't you shut your muzzle and go fetch?
He smirks and whistles his source hounds a little closer.
You don't get it, do you? In here, I call the shots. You so much as tickle me, and you'll be tossed to my source hounds as a new chew toy.
He blanches and staggers backward a step, all bravado punctured.
Done! I'll give you the information. Here, just done. All right.
You there. You've just arrived, isn't that right? Are you quite alone? Oh, very droll. Listen up. You must think me mad to approach a stranger, but this camp is full of cowards, and I'm running out of time. Fast. Too fast. Way too fast. I've been here a long time. Longer than anyone else. People get taken sometimes. Some folks say they get cured. I don't know if I believe it, and I don't want to wait and find out. I have a way out of here. It won't be easy, and I need a partner. Just one. Are you interested? Attaboy. Who wouldn't? The plan's simple. Completely foolproof. I have a spell that I can use to teleport you right out of here. I can't use it on myself, but with your help, we can both get out of here. There's an artifact that you can use to teleport me out of this place. Then I can use my spell to free you in turn. It's found its way into a nest of crocodilians on a secluded beach nearby. Here, give me your map and I'll show you where to get that artifact. And you and I...
I don't think I ain't watching. That's your fifth blue.
The woman is scrabbling at her as she catches sight of you. Recognition.
Ben Mest, you can't hide who you are. Stay back. Stay back. Keep that monster Ben Mest away from me.
No, just because the pair of you are filthy cheating liars don't mean I can't beat ya.
Looky here, mates. A fresh face. We love fresh faces, don't we? Oh, yes, we do. Why don't you join us in a round of cards? First hands on. Chuff to you, Chief. Here are your cards. You're up first.
You glance at your hand. 2.
Quite the hand, Freshie. Unfortunately, 2 is less than 5, and that's how many purples I've got. I reckon that makes me the winner. I'll be having your fee then. Just my bit of fun, Sharpie. I'm sure the Reds told you, no one gets along without paying the interment fee. So, let's make this easy. Well, you've heard of it now, ain't ya? Go on then, Freshie, turn 'em out. Lone Wolf, eh? If you lot are as fearsome as they say, how'd you let a troop of goons like the Reds get their hands on ya?
Ralvo looks you...
You know what? I'm in a good mood. Take a hike, Freshie. Ha! You hear that, mates?
none.
cat's eyes are clouded and its eyes clear.
You there? Have you seen him? None of your business, inmate. Find me. Come on, old man. Can't wait all day.
I'm not mad, darling. I'm not mad. Sweetheart?
Clara. She ain't coming back.
Stay back. Stay back. Keep that monster bednest away from me.
She's much better off. I won't say it again.
What did you say?
That's what happened, isn't it?
Why hasn't Alexander risen yet?
Hands out your pocket.
So this is Fort Joy.
Delivery. Surely you'll have one.
What a crumbling disaster.
Scram, snake face.
I'll give you one more chance to shut that ugly gun.
Come on, chap.
Patience, Mal. Patience.
I found you, didn't I? Red, they said. Them that pay the bills, of course. I'll be... Time's up, Your Highness. Let... it's stabbing time.
Damned nuisance these assassins are. It's their frightful manners I mind the most, really. Well, that was rather fun, wasn't it? I do find it ever so invigorating. Oh, one gets used to this kind of thing so quick. I'll tell you what, though. All those bumblers they've sent so far.
A little reprieve from the din outside.
Shua! 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 Got you!